think my middle name should be Sidetrack, because I have literally sidetracked myself again. I saw one of those brown signs on the side of the road, and it had an image of a camera, which means it's this photographic area. Well, it's a state park, so I pulled up and I asked the lady, is this worth going to? And she talked for about 15 minutes about telling me about what I'm about to see. It's the oldest house in Idaho. And there's like this church that was built without nails. It's got huckleberry painting on the roof. Or they painted it with huckleberry juice. There's a field of aspen over there. I'm totally sidetracked. I'm about to go into a museum. Let's go.
In 1858, the Coeur d'Alene Indians and several neighboring tribes struck out at these invaders in an effort to protect their ancient territory.
All right, I watched as much of the movie as I could. It was like a fire hose of information. I got the gist of it. I'm going to check out the buildings now. Oh, son. The mind can only absorb so much. I mean, I'm listening to a lot of things that I really have an extreme interest in, because it all kind of makes up the fabric of where you are, where you're visiting. Going down to a scenic view here. The girl told me it's a good view of the river, the valley here. I'll be the judge of that. Meh. All right, so the building next door was the parish house. I believe we're going into the church now, I think. So, previously, I'd say maybe 8 years ago, when I was heavily, maybe longer than that, heavily into HDR photography, or when I started getting into it, my initial thought when I pulled into a place like that would be get the sticks out, get the camera, do some multiple exposures to take them into Photomatics and process them. Like I'm Trey Ratcliffe. You know, he really inspired me to kind of look for that kind of stuff. Been a fan of his for a while. But I guess it's kind of changed. I realized I could have done that. But I'd rather go in there and just take a few clips, do a little bit of research, and then put my own narration to it, kind of add it to the story of my travels. I certainly appreciate that art that he shared with all of us. Really inspired me, actually, to dig a little bit deeper creatively. But you know, I'm kind of moving on to other things. He is as well. He's a really creative dude. I'll put a link to his channel. I keep saying I'm going to put links to things, and I don't put links to anything, but he's an interesting cat to follow. He's been on a creative mission his entire life, and again, he's evolving, and a fun one to follow. Anyway, Stuck in Customs, Trey Ratcliffe. Thanks, Trey. And in the remote chance you're watching this. Thanks for the inspiration. White Pine Scenic Byway. There's a lot of scenic byways here. I think I'm going to... Am I going to there or Coeur d'Alene? So many decisions. So many scenic drives. So I'm on a really scenic drive right now around this lake, Coeur d'Alene. And I mean, just the views, it really reminds me of Lake Lure. There's a lot of little boat houses down there I see. Houses up in the mountains. You know, I've been asked a few times as I'm traveling, have you been anywhere yet that you could see yourself living? Northern Idaho, I don't know, man. I could see it. Quick pan of the lake over the Arrow Point condominium area. Yeah, I just got to say that I'm seeing some pretty amazing visuals. I'm not capturing them. I'm seeing them here, capturing them here. And again, if there was a place I could see myself spending more time, for sure, it would be this area. Look at this little enclave. Actually heading back now on, what am I, on 90 heading east? My GPS just told me for 259 miles, continue straight. But a long drive ahead of me here. 336 miles to the airport area. I think that's where I'm headed, obviously. I really thought about going down to West Yellowstone, maybe staying in the under canvas down there, but I wouldn't get down there until like 10, which seems kind of silly. I think it'll already be dark by then. And plus, I think there's a time change that I'm not aware of. Anyway, I took an amazing drive today, and I was going to take this really long route along the St. Joe River, I think. And when I put the directions in, when I got down to this one town, it said, by the way, this is probably really boring information, but it said may contain some dirt roads. So I asked the girl, I was topping off at the gas station, and she's like, I don't know if I'd go that route. She's like, that road, there was a little town, I forget Avery, I think it was, to take that up to 90 eventually, which is what I would have needed to do. She said, a lot of accidents on that road, and that's not what I want to have happen. Of course, I'm driving with a camera in my hand. There's a place called Lookout Pass, right between the border of Montana and Utah. Probably a little windy to be recording. Obviously way off season. Just trying to break up my drive here. Somebody's gonna need a car wash. So apparently that ski area, people come up from Montana and also from Idaho to ski that. A lot of people stayed down in Silverton or Wallace, is what the girl was telling me. They all seem rather tired there, like they're being forced to stay open to serve the biking community. Anyway, you know, I was just thinking as I pulled out of there, for some reason I was thinking of our documentary that we did on Kim Kahana. I mean, he recently passed away. I haven't reached out to Sandra yet. I really should. I've talked a little bit with Frank about it and texted George. We spent a lot of time interviewing him and interviewing other people and telling the story of this man. And I guess I was thinking about that because I was just thinking about the guy that I spoke to this morning. His name was Ron. He gave me his card. And I guess he's an author, like I said. And I'm thinking, you know, you never know, or I never know, how the day is going to unfold. And I make decisions based on, I don't know. But, and I don't want to second guess myself, but had I taken him up on his offer to go over to his place, would I have come up with a more interesting outcome for the day? Maybe walking away with a more interesting story, other than me just driving aimlessly through northern Idaho? And the answer is probably. I probably should have taken him up on that offer and then just driven from here back to Bozeman or under canvas. So I can't, again, second guess myself, but I think in the future when an opportunity presents itself, I need to take advantage of that, because God only knows what information or what stories this guy had, or what I would have learned, maybe more about this area and specifically Wallace, but more importantly him, you know. I guess I was just thinking, again, everybody has a story, and I don't know, as simple as it is, I want to tell more of them. And if you happen to pop into this video for the very first time, and you're not really sure what I'm talking about, I'll do a link to a playlist below of mine. It was a whole series I did on the making of this documentary and what we went through and some of our feelings that we had during that process, which was, for me, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And one of the things, again, that made it most memorable for me and meaningful was the involvement that Mr. K or Mr. Kahana had in the making of this. There's a segment that we did that he helped us produce this stunt, and it was a little vignette that we did that was, I think he had so much fun, and it's probably one of the last experiences he had in making part of a movie, you know, part of a picture, a moving picture. And that meant so much to me to have him be a part of that, you know. Anyway, I missed that whole process. It was really special, man. Rest in peace, Mr. K. Thank you. I'll be the judge of that. Well, it sunk like a bowling ball there. I really tried to pull off to the side of the road to get the full sun before it set, but I got a couple of quick shots. I'm not sure if these are going to be my parting shots or whether I'm going to get some kind of sunrise or star action. I really have no idea. I kind of think that's going to be the end of this series. Sad as that is. Been driving a lot today, and I wish I had one more day, because there was a moment I was going to get down to Yellowstone again. There was a moment I actually considered going up to Glacier National Park and going that route and ending up in St. Mary and then trekking down. There was also, look how dirty the car is. There was also a time I was thinking about going and following that river road. I needed one more day to do all that. So yeah, it's chasing the light. All right, I'm gonna make a U-turn, get back on 90 and head to somewhere in Bozeman. I don't know where I'm gonna stay. I guess that's it for now. Maybe I'll see you in the next season. Actually, I'll probably record in the morning. Well, as always, all good things must come to an end. This is going to be the end of, we call it series. No, we don't. We call it season 4. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I'm going to record today, as, again, it's a travel day. I got to get that car washed. It's caked in mud and dirt. So yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs and see if there's any breakfast here. I don't think so. I think they would have told me. I'm staying at an Even hotel. Stayed in one whoa, what's going on with this thing? I stayed in one in Manhattan before, and it was a nice property. They did have breakfast. This place just opened apparently 10 days ago, the girl told me. So we're gonna get downstairs, see if they got breakfast. If not, it's time to get out of here shortly. Got to return the car. I've already checked in for my flight. It's a small airport. I'll probably get there an hour and a half ahead of time. Plenty of time. Pretty much packed up and ready to go. Nice clean room. I took a shot last night. I'll show it to you right here. Yeah, I love photographing hotel rooms when I'm here. I was going to try to stay in something. I'm going off on a tangent again. I'll talk to you when I get back. Gotta go get some breakfast. Well, a hotel reviewer and critic I am not, but I just want to say that, they just opened this up apparently 2 weeks ago. And it's very convenient to the airport. I must say that. I think it's between a 1 and 3 minute drive. The guy told me downstairs. Had a really good breakfast, or a good breakfast, an adequate breakfast. Almost packed, ready to go. God, I thought there was something riveting to tell you. It was about the decor downstairs. I'm not sure what you label it. Modern tech, homey modern tech. I don't know. A lot of different seating areas, places to converse when you're traveling as a business traveler, or as a family. Very cool, unique floor plan. I like it. And they got snacks down there and all that kind of stuff too. Yeah, that's my review for the Even Hotel. I'm about to cut out of here, and I just want to. I may record some things along the way, perhaps. I guess, through the airport or whatever. Got a layover in Dallas. And I just want to say, I'm not sure how much I recorded on this trip. Certainly when I was with the family, because it was, I was traveling with a couple of people, well, my family, my daughter and my ex-wife. And their mindset, I think, was more, they're on vacation. I took them along. It's their vacation time. For me, I'm taking this whole year as a quest. It's kind of like a job. I'm treating it like a job. You're probably saying, yeah, dude, you're traveling around. It's not a job. Well, I'm treating it like one. I'm recording. I'm documenting. I don't feel like I'm on vacation. So there was a bit of a mindset I had to kind of find myself in, or find myself within. And I'm not wording that correctly. I kind of slowed down a little bit, I think, and traveled a bit differently than I do when I'm by myself. But then, when I dropped them off at the airport, I think I tried to overcompensate, and I went from like second gear to fifth gear, and I just drove way too much. Not too much, but I drove all over Idaho. And I barely scratched the surface. I was just in the north end. When I woke up this morning, I was thinking, what a harebrained idea that was, to think about I was going to go clear down to under canvas and then maybe drive through Yellowstone again and maybe go to the Lamar Valley, Beartooth Highway, and come up this way. I mean, I had all these ideas of how I wanted to try to cram 2 or 3 days worth of travel into a day. When I was driving back, I drove through Missoula, I think, and Butte. By the time I got to Butte, I realized I still had like an hour to go, maybe an hour and a half to get here. And it was dark, and I did not want to be on the road. I think I drove like 9 hours yesterday. So I finally made it in safe and sound, caffeinated myself, really stayed awake and had the high beams on when I could. But it was some crazy driving to get here. So I don't know where I'm going with all this other than sometimes you just got to slow down. You know, maybe in retrospect, I would have done that last part of Idaho a little differently. Maybe I should have slowed down and just gone straight. I don't know. Again, no regrets. I did what I did. I think I got some good footage, though, well, remains to be seen. And we'll probably be sharing this in 4 months or so of downtown Wallace and a couple of the conversations I had and the scenic drives that I had around the lakes. So, anyway, I don't know if any of this will be in the vlog. It's just me doing a verbal dump here before I hit the road. Speaking of hitting the road, let's hit the road. Again with the fake trip. I was asked the other day how often I'm going to continue doing that, and well, let's just say we're only at the end of season 4 here, and I've got 8 more seasons to go, so I think we're going to see some more of that. Anyway, we're winding down this, like we say, season, this collection of states that I visited here on my journey to visit all 50 states in 1 year. The year that I turned 60. I don't have much photography to share from this episode. I did stop and captured a sunset really quick when I was on the way to the airport, or on my way to the airport hotel. And, well, there's a couple of quick shots of that. Beautiful airport here in Bozeman. There's some great photography. I'll put a link below to that artist, Denver Bryan. It was kind of nice to see some really cool images. Some of these images really tell the story of, well, remind me of the images that I didn't capture. Again, I'll put a link to his below. I'll put a link to Trey's website, like I had mentioned. Also, I had mentioned a behind-the-scenes documentary list that I did, or a list of videos. I'll put a link to that. A link to that Even Hotel, which was very cool. And also, I have, so far, seasons 1 through 4, I have them in playlists. I'll put links to those in the description as well. So after leaving Bozeman and arriving in, I think, Dallas, I had a few more words to say. So I popped over to the Centurion Lounge to get a little bit of work done, specifically get my files together, backed up to the hard drives, and I said I didn't have that many clips. Boy, I've got a ton of stuff to go through. Specifically, I recorded a lot over the last 3 days in Idaho, so I got my work cut out for me for season 4. As you can see, I'm a big fan of the window seat now. I used to be an aisle seat kind of guy. Been enjoying looking at the clouds and the color and the light for sure. Had a nice ride home. And of course, it's always great to get home to see the cat. Stand by for season 5. I'll talk a little bit about that next week as we do kind of a setup video for that. Look forward to telling more stories and sharing more of this, this beautiful country we live in and some of my unique travel perspectives. Again, I'll see you on the next one. Geez, look, it's funny. I don't smell any bears What's he talking about, bears?